Well, interesting morning. I had actually planned this for an hour and 3/4 ago, but then I couldn't get my webcam to work um, as it should do. And I've been trying all sorts of things to make it work. I eventually fixed it on there. It took some doing, but I worked out what needed to be done and got it done. Well, hey, makes a change, get some of the tech right. Actually, that says something about tech, and it also says something about persistence as well. I mean, you think tech is one of those things that people have a fear of, and it's strange. I mean, what happens is that, well, it's sort of like a learned incapability at times. I mean, I remember being told the story about the fleas circus, and there's another similar story with a similar moral about elephants. And the elephants one is a bit easier to visualize, isn't it? Because they are so big. The story goes with the elephants that when an elephant was little, there the baby elephant was fastened to a stake with a chain, and as hard as it tried pulling, the baby elephant wasn't strong enough to do some to get free from this chain and this stake, and that eventually the elephant would this baby elephant would learn that there was no point pulling on that chain, because all that would happen was that it would get a sore leg, and that the chain wouldn't break and the stake wouldn't budge, and it would stay stuck. And it learned to stay stuck. It learned to, I suppose, uh, be obedient to its master and be subservient and and stay chained up. Um, then, of course, the baby elephants become adult elephants eventually, don't they? Well, normally. And the same elephant would have learned that the chain would be chained up in the same way. Now, when it was a big adult elephant, it would be strong enough to break free from that chain on there, but it had already learned that there was no point in trying, so it wouldn't put the effort into trying. And I mean, that's what many of us are like with technology, isn't it? Um, we think that we can't do things because we've had a struggle and we've learnt that we can't do it. Um, and the more we learn that we can't, the more we think we can't, and we actually then become uh, technophobes rather than technophiles. I mean, I saw that again and again years ago when I taught basic IT. It was quite, yeah, you could see people who were quite competent and capable in other areas of their lives, but because when it came to computers, their experience had been such that, oh no, I can't do this, I can't learn it, I can't do it, oh, and they had it was all in. To be honest, it was all in their heads. They'd learned that they couldn't, so they then decided, no, they'd had a go, found it was harder than they thought, then decided to come to class. And the first thing one of the major things I had to teach them in the class was the fact that they actually could do things, and yeah, it was, and to override that bad experience and teach them, yes, 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 there's no problem. Yes, you can do that. You can do that. And what was hard suddenly became easy. That's a bit like my morning's been. I was thinking, yes, so it's ever so hard, ever so hard, ever so hard. I can't do that. Eventually, I did work out what was wrong and was able to fix it. Took me an hour and 3/4, or probably nearer 2 hours to sort it all out, but I got there. Um, and that's where the idea of persistence comes in. You don't just give up the first time of trying. You keep on trying. That is where there. I mean, that it's those who give up at the first attempt that don't get very far. In fact, I've heard it said that there in some spheres of achievement that if you actually try the first time and you get there, get you achieve the first time round, you're actually um, doing yourself a disservice because because you've not tried one way of not working. You haven't learnt. You don't actually know what's worked and what hasn't. It's just sort of happened for you, and you're not quite sure why it's happened. And if some you, which makes it much harder to repeat what you're doing because you've not because there you know you've not you've because you've not failed, because you've not struggled, you've not learned what not to do, if you see what I mean. And there's that sort of thing um of trying and not succeed. Trying more than once to get something right is actually can actually be beneficial. You look you would struggle to find a biography by an entrepreneur that doesn't start well. I did this in the first place and it didn't work. So I looked at what went wrong and I corrected that bit and I tried again, and then I had another go, and again I looked at what was wrong and I fixed that. Oh, and I tried again. And it gets to it's very often the third or fourth attempt at doing something when they actually have a sense that they're getting somewhere. They're actually starting to succeed. They don't expect to there. But you see, if you start something and don't keep on trying, I mean, if that elephant that was tied up with a chain had tried a little bit later, tried, I don't know, a year or two later when it was a much bigger elephant, it might have realized that yes, it can get out of the chain. Oh, so we do manage to get ourselves in a pickle with this, don't we? We say that we learn what we can't, so we don't try. But on the other hand, if we're ever going to succeed, we've got to try, work out why we're not, why we have failed, and then try again. I mean, from the elephant's point of view, tied up with a chain. Okay, the reason why it didn't get out is the fact that it was too small. It wasn't strong enough, right? Okay. Um, the answer to that is wait till you're stronger. Then you can do it and you have a more chance of succeeding. Learn a bit more, grow a bit more, become a bigger and better elephant, basically. And then you can get through. Actually, then you can actually break the chain and come and get loose. I'm gonna say in mixing elephants and my issues with IT. It's an interesting thought. As there, but the principles are the same. On there, we often fail because often comes because the there's something not right. There's something in the mix of things of what we're doing, how we're doing it, who we are. There's the person that's doing it, and it's that mix is not quite right somehow. And if that mix is not right, well, whatever we're working on will fail. We'll succeed when we've got the basic mix, right of things like, I'm not saying this is an exclusive list because I'm saying this off my top of my head and I'm not really thinking about it, but things like getting the right character development, things like getting uh, our thoughts right, whether you call that mindset in a worldly sense, or transforming ourselves to having the mind of Christ in a faith-based sense. Both of which, similar sorts of impact, I suppose. Different methods, different ways of doing it, but the same effect. Um, Things like actually doing the right thing. How do we actually carry out a project? Missed have we missed a vital step? Have we chosen the wrong raw materials? Have we chosen the wrong market? All sorts of practical issues that could go wrong. And any one of those could, no, that's not right, could may mean that could 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 be like the chain that stops the elephant breaking free. It could be the thing that stops us in that time. But yeah, we have it's an interesting one, that, isn't it? We have to keep on. If we don't keep on going and we don't keep on trying, the only thing that will be guaranteed is the fact that we won't get anywhere if we don't try. Um, and sadly, many people have learned that trying is not a good idea. They're like the little elephant. Don't try, and they say, "Oh well, this is our destiny. This is what is expected of me. This is where I am. I'm not going to, I've hit a wall. I'm not going to go any further than this." And yes, um, uh, very challenging situation. Anyway, that's enough of me today. Rambling on today. Um, I'm doing these as much for uh, helping people get to know me, and for me giving a bit of practice doing impromptu talks, because I need to get a bit more practice in. And the obvious thing today would have been to have given up, because it was a challenge. Like, it was a challenge. There was a pulling on the chain, dragging the elephant pulling on the chain type challenge. But I decided that, yep, I was not going to let it beat me, and I kept going on there. Anyway, that's enough for now. Bye.